Thank you for watching Inspire Math videos. Today we're going to study how to find the greatest common factor and the least common multiple of four whole numbers by simultaneous factoring. Some textbooks recommend you use factor trees. Factor trees are alright if there are only a few factors, but short division is very systematic and easy to organize. So let's use short division instead. If you're unsure about short division, please refer to the video whole number 3. Let's look at the first question. GCF and LCM of 75, 105, 110, and 125 by simultaneous factoring. Place 75, 105, 110, and 125 side by side. All four numbers can be divided by 5. 75 divided by 5 is 15. 105 divided by 5 is 21. 110 divided by 5 is 22. And 125 divided by 5 is 25. We now have 15, 21, 22, and 25, but there is no more common factor for all four numbers, so the GCF is 5. In order to find the LCM of four numbers, we continue to find a common factor for two whole numbers among four. If you take a look at 15 and 25, there's a common factor 5, so we can divide them by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Nothing changed for 21 and nothing changed for 22. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Now we have 3, 21, 22, and 5. If you take a look at 3 and 21, there's a common factor 3, so we can divide them by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And nothing changed for 22 and 5. We now have 1, 7, 22, and 5. Since there is no more common factors for any two whole numbers, we stop factoring. To find the LCM, we need to multiply numbers in the L shape, which is 5 times 5 times 3 times 1 times 7 times 22 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 1 times 7 is 21. 22 times 5 is 110. So LCM is 25 times 21 times 110, which is 57,750. Now let's try another question. GCF and LCM of 140, 154, 196, and 294 by simultaneous factoring. Place 140, 154, 196, and 294 side by side. All four numbers can be divided by 2. 140 divided by 2 is 70. 154 divided by 2 is 77. 196 divided by 2 is 98. And 294 divided by 2 is 147. We have 70, 77, 98, and 147, and they all can be divided by 7. 70 divided by 7 is 10. 77 divided by 7 is 11. 98 divided by 7 is 14. And 147 divided by 7 is 21. We now have 10, 11, 14, and 21, but there is no more common factor for all four numbers, so GCF is 2 times 7, which is 14. In order to find the LCM of four whole numbers, we continue to find a common factor for two whole numbers among four. If you take a look at 14 and 21, there is a common factor 7, so we can divide them by 7. Nothing changed for 10, nothing changed for 11. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Now we have 10, 11, 2, and 3. If you take a look at 10 and 2, there is a common factor 2, so we can divide them by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Nothing changed for 11. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Nothing changed for 3. Now we have 5, 11, 1, and 3. Since there is no common factor for any two whole numbers, we stop factoring. To find the LCM, we need to multiply the numbers in the shape of an L, which is 2 times 7 times 7 times 2 times 5 times 11 times 1 times 3. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 7 times 7 is 98. 11 times 1 times 3 is 33. So LCM is 98 times 10 times 33, which is 32,340. Let's see the last question. GCF and LCM of 126, 144, 162, and 270 by simultaneous factoring. Place 126, 144, 162, and 270 side by side. All four numbers can be divided by 2. 126 divided by 2 is 63. 144 divided by 2 is 72. 162 divided by 2 is 81. And 270 divided by 2 is 135. We have 63, 72, 81, and 135. They all can be divided by 3. 63 divided by 3 is 21. 72 divided by 3 is 24. 81 divided by 3 is 27. And 135 divided by 3 is 45. We now have 21, 24, 27, and 45. All four numbers can be divided by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 27 divided by 3 is 9. And 45 divided by 3 is 15. We now have 7, 8, 9, and 15. But there is no more common factor for all four numbers, so GCF is 2 times 3 times 3, which is 18. In order to find the LCM of four whole numbers, we continue to find a common factor for two whole numbers among four. If you take a look at 9 and 15, there is a common factor 3, so we can divide them by 3. Nothing changed for 7, nothing changed for 8. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now we have 7, 8, 3, and 5. Since there is no common factor for any two whole numbers, we stop factoring. To find the LCM, we need to multiply the numbers in the shape of an L, which is 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 7 times 8 times 3 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 7 times 8 times 3 is 168. So LCM is 10 times 27 times 168, which is 45,360. Here are some challenge questions. Try them out. Sample solutions are linked under the video. Hope you can solve them. Thank you for watching Inspire Math videos. Please subscribe if you'd like to join our Inspire Math tutoring community. There are some related videos linked below. Thank you and have a good one.